Good evening, Lake Orion. Well, it's a very sunny day. I'm your host, and I am between Taorminas. Yes, indeed, between Taorminas here on ONTV. This is Anthony Taormina with my co-hosts, my brother, Mr. Sammy Taormina, and one of my best friends, Ian Witherspoon.
Hi.
How is everybody?
How are you?
How are you? You know who the biggest, you know what? We should both agree on this. You know who the biggest loser is in this town is? Tom Gorse.
I would agree with you, but he doesn't live in this town.
He does not. He lives in California.
But you know who else do I blame the most?
Who?
Karen Davison.
Blame for what?
Because she sold the team to that loser.
What did that loser do?
Gorse.
What did Tom Gorse do? I don't get it.
See.
You got to introduce the topic here. Sam.
Yes, we got to introduce the topic. The Pistons, Stan Van Gundy got the can as both the head coach and the GM.
Him and Tommy G broke up.
Yes.
So it was like a marriage broken up.
Except Stan gets nothing.
Yeah, Stan gets nothing and Gorse gets to keep the team.
Yep.
Yep, and that's horrible. Because here's why. They just set this franchise back 15 years.
They haven't
15
been
years
relevant
after the bad boys.
in 15 years, man.
They have not been relevant. You know, Tom Gorse is a complete moron because of what he has done to that team. He let Stan Van Gundy basically control basketball operations.
Let him run the show.
He let him run the show. And then, of course, Stan Van Gundy made some terrible, terrible mistakes. First of all, you do not pay John Lure. I believe they overpaid him. They overpaid Boba. They also he made some really questionable picks. Stanley Johnson and Henry and of course Luke Kennard. That was a very questionable pick. And basically,
who did he miss out on in that draft? I can't remember.
It was a Utah Jazz player.
Yeah, what was his name again? Jeez, I can't remember.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah, the guy that torched the Rockets in the playoffs.
I know. But
the guy that got to the second round of the playoffs.
Yes, I know.
Where was Rookie of the Year Ben Simmons in the playoffs, by the way?
He went the second round.
Well, he didn't do much, is what I'm saying.
No,
Donovan
but
Mitchell
did
is the real deal, man.
But I'm telling you right now, Tom Gorse, but then the biggest mistake of Stan Van Gundy's tenure, trading for Blake Griffin, terrible contract, horrible contract,
Blake Griffin did produce
and you give him a first-round draft pick for this. First of all, if that pick is not top 4 protected, the Pistons are screwed here. They already are screwed.
They're completely screwed.
I know they're screwed.
They are completely
screwed. I know they're screwed.
And the worst part is, Tom Gorse still owns the team.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to sell.
He needs to sell the team.
I agree.
He's a worse owner
than James Dolan.
Than Martha Ford. Tom Gorse is the worst owner in this town.
Wow,
I agree with you.
That's a statement.
You know what? I agree with you.
What has happened since Martha Ford has taken over the Lions?
Martha Ford has really tried to turn this Lions franchise around.
They're a respectable franchise right now. They have Bob Quinn in place.
Yes,
who just got Matt Patricia.
Well, don't forget the whole Jim Caldwell thing, too. I mean, if you look at Jim Caldwell with the process.
He was part of the process.
And then now you've got,
part of the process.
Now we're ready to move forward.
So give Martha Ford some credit.
Martha Ford has been a complete surprise.
I'm happy.
At least she's trying.
Karen Davison and Tom Gorse has been a complete disaster.
Tom Gorse is far worse than Martha Ford.
He's worse. He's one of the worst owners of all time in the NBA. Worse than James Dolan. I believe he got some intro video from.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, there is a video. ONTV's cameras.
Yeah.
We're there. Our cameras.
Yeah,
we're at the
I know.
Van Gundy introductory press conference. All right.
Yes.
So let's roll that sweet footage of a tan Stan and
This
Tommy G.
is the defining moment. It is the most important decision we have made as an organization.
This is 4 years
Not
ago.
only did we hire a coach and president
4
of
years
basketball, we are resetting the culture of the franchise.
What a liar!
I'm convinced.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And, you know,
What a liar!
I'm so confident that this is going to work.
All
We
right,
both
well,
have passion for it. I know he's going to be as prepared as ever when it comes to any decision.
Bombing your
whether
franchise
it's
and
on the
setting it
floor
back into
or
the
Setting it
mid-90s.
back 15 years.
I'm sleeping better. I told you guys before I do
You're
lose
sleeping
sleep
better?
at night worrying
I
about
hope
this
he
community
sleeps
and making
worse.
sure
You know
it
he owns a
delivers,
$100 million home
for you
in
guys.
Los Angeles.
Yes,
I hope
in
he
California.
sleeps
California.
okay.
Better,
I hope he sleeps all right.
having
Lives in
California.
California.
Van Gundy was being pursued
against
by
people
multiple
in California.
teams, including playoff contenders, the Golden State Warriors. But the dual coaching and executive role played a big part in his decision to come to Detroit.
There's really 3 things about this job that excited me. The first thing
making
was
One
the
is that the
commitment
owner doesn't
of
care to let
Tom
me
and
do
the
whatever I want.
ownership group. It was really evident when we first sat down. Tom's a
narrator?
Michigan
The fans don't
guy.
care.
He
that
takes
narrator?
this
That
very
narrator's fine.
personally.
Thank you.
He really views the Pistons as a community asset
Community
and sees it as our
asset's a disaster.
responsibility to bring this organization back to prominence. And I was just impressed with their commitment, Tom and his partners. The second thing
Commitment
was,
to-
I think that
Commitment to disaster.
the position gives us the chance
I'm
to
confused by his
create the
commitment.
most unified organization in sports. That's what the dual role is all about. I came into the NBA in an organization like that in Miami with Pat Riley running it, and I think there's tremendous advantages there. And I think you will find
All
as
right.
we go
All right.
forward
Please stop
that
this, man.
ownership, front office, coaching staff, that everybody
Joe,
is on the same page. I should
pull the
include
plug on
Dennis
this
and
guy.
his
Thank
group on the
you.
business side, that there's going to be
Get
great
that mustache
synergy
out of my
here, that
face.
we're all
I'm
working
enjoying
toward
this.
the same thing. And then finally, the Detroit Piston tradition. There are not
God.
many coaches that walk into their practice facility every day or walk into their arena every night
got rid of the
and
palace.
coach where there is multiple championship banners hanging and the retired
Joe,
members of
my
8
ears are
phenomenal
bleeding.
winning
He got rid of the
players,
palace.
a
He
tremendous
got rid of the
executive
palace,
Mike
for
McCloskey,
goodness
and an
sakes.
owner
Well,
in
maybe
Bill
not
Davidson,
Sam, but
2
Goris did.
retired
Didn't do that.
people. I have tremendous respect.
People,
This is horrible.
good people of Lake Orion, I'm sorry.
This is horrible.
Yeah, it's
How
not
about
good.
the good people from
It's all
Lake Orion,
lies right
also
there.
Joe Johnson?
horrible.
Sorry.
It's all lies.
That's
yeah, Joe.
all lies.
Did Joe film that?
Yes, Joe filmed that. Yes.
Joe had to sit through that.
Yes.
That
Joe
was-
Johnson did a phenomenal
How
job.
many of
The
those-
camera work was
How many
exceptional.
of
Yeah,
those?
Joe did a phenomenal
How many
job.
of those were lies?
Um,
How many of those were
do you want a
garbage?
percentage? I'd say about 100%, give or take 0%.
Tom Goris is.
He's a
liar.
joke. He's an absolute
He's
joke.
a liar.
He's a
He's
billionaire.
a billionaire
that
liar.
is not a
You know,
fan.
and you know what? Here's I
He's
heard
not
a
a
rumor.
fan
I
of
heard
the
a rumor
team.
today. I heard a rumor that I believe it's Equity is facing charges in New Jersey.
His company?
Yeah.
Platinum Equity?
Yeah.
Huh. Not surprised. Listen,
That's news.
this guy has accomplished what he needs to accomplish, right? He bought the team to make money. He's made money now. This team is worth $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
If the Bucks and teams like that are selling for $1 billion, the Detroit Pistons are worth north of $1 billion. Do you know what he bought the Palace, the Pistons, and DTE, all those 3 things
For
for?
about $583 million.
No, 325. So let's do the math here, all right?
Garbage.
Paid 325.
Mm-hmm.
Can sell the team alone for a cool bill. Is that a profit or is that a profit? That's a profit.
profit.
I want him to take his money and get out.
Take his money, get out, and by the way, get the heck out of Little Caesars Arena. Because here's why. You have an arena in Auburn Hills, Michigan that's not even used right now. If I'm whoever gets
Nothing. There's no games, no
There's
nothing.
no games,
No
there's
MHSA
nothing.
events, nothing.
I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Get them out of downtown Detroit.
That's one I cannot agree with you on. I think
I
it's
actually
bad.
can agree with Sam here because I like to see him in Auburn Hills.
Yeah, I mean, I can
mean,
understand
it's
that.
easier.
It's easier for this segment of the population. There's a large part of the population the Palace is not
But
easy
there's
for.
empty seats right now in
It's at Little
Detroit.
Caesars Arena.
There's empty seats in Little Caesars
Did you
Arena.
go to a game at the
Yes.
Palace?
I've been in
Did you not see the early '90s fabric on the chairs there? You see bright red now. There, it's like a washed out '90s red.
That's because Tom Gore
Teal
is
thing.
a waste of talent. That's what Tom Gore
Well,
is.
the team is bad.
The team is bad.
Nobody
They don't have a
shows
first-round
up
pick,
when the
and
team
then
is bad.
We got to look at, okay, who's going to be the next
I'd
president?
rather
and
see the
GM?
Palace be used for
Who's
something,
gonna be, who's
But
gonna be
not
the
have
next-
to be sold to some real estate developer.
It would be nice. It would be nice.
The
But
problem
it
is
doesn't-
nobody wants to use it.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what we think. It's it's all about money. It doesn't matter what we
It's all
think.
about the performance on the court. If they played in
Not to Tom
Oscoda
Loris.
and they were good, people would go up to Oscoda to watch them. But they are not good, so no one goes. No one goes to Tigers games when they're not good. No one goes to Lions games when they're not good. You got to be good and exciting. And Tom doesn't care because he doesn't watch. So he doesn't know if they're good and exciting. He has no
Okay.
idea.
You know who's going to make this next hire of the Pistons? Art Tellem.
Arn Tellem is going to be calling the shots. And that's a little scary, too.
That's scary. No offense that he was Ben Wallace's agent. But
That doesn't matter. I mean, he had a successful career as an agent. Does that translate to being some rich California
No, it does
playboy's
not.
basketball
no, it does
assistant?
Not.
I mean, the thing is, he's got to make the right move, and they got to make the right moves. What would be the popular picks would be a couple things. Chauncey Billups in the office. How about Jerry Stackhouse as coach?
Well,
You know what? I dare say this: who should be the next coach? Rasheed Wallace. He's got a coaching experience.
that would be so bad. But I want it because I would watch the Pistons
He's
more.
got
than
coaching
see-
experience. Heck, I would even make Ben Wallace say next coach of Pistons. He would even be a perfect fit.
Ben Wallace was in town. Maybe he was talking.
He's been in
But
town.
Rasheed Wallace
team.
would be a perfect fit. You said Jerry Stackhouse would be a perfect fit.
Hey, I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Guys,
I
there
mean,
are plenty of
You saw
bright
the
minds
thing.
in
You
the
saw
world.
Ben Wallace on his Twitter page post wonderful pictures about the Palace, and the Palace still looks wonderful. That basketball court looks wonderful still.
He's not gonna. Ben Wallace is not gonna run the team.
No, I
and
know,
move them
but I
back to the
mean, I'm
Palace
talking about
couch.
the argument of the Palace.
I understand. I get
I don't
it.
know if you do. You used to work in Detroit, so it's like
I used to work at the Palace,
I know you.
so
used
I
to work
get
there.
it. I mean, I grew up here. I get it.
We all
with,
grew up in like
with
Orion.
the
We all grew up
memories.
here.
Those are memories, though. It doesn't make sense
Pistons, Vipers,
to have 4 teams in 4 stadiums. That doesn't make sense. The Silverdome shouldn't be standing there still. It's a disgrace. Either do something with the place or tear it
I
down.
don't think
and
you
do
should have
something
3
with the land.
teams in one stadium, though. Really.
Well, there are 2 teams.
Well,
Two
2,
teams in
but
one-
still.
You shouldn't have 2 in one stadium.
That's how your team in Dallas does it.
I know.
That's how your Avalanche and Nuggets do
I
it.
know.
That's how every team in the across the country does
like
it.
I know. It seems like it.
That's the way to do it. You're wasting space and resources with a whole stadium that's just going to sit there, and it's
Then you can use
wasting away.
concerts and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Use concerts and things like that. Use other events, like you can use like MHSA events or college basketball
can.
events.
No,
I mean, you
yes.
can.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
like it doesn't have to be like.
That'd be an eyesore.
Look,
right.
guys, you mentioned it earlier. It's all about the money.
That's sad.
It's all about the money.
It's terrible.
As cool as it would be to have MHSAA events there, they don't draw on the dollars like a concert or whatever. So they're going to go downtown where they can have the center of attention and get the most
The
people in the
so-called
door.
district for Detroit. What a joke.
That's terrible. The joke. The joke.
Any final thoughts on this subject?
The joke.
I don't know.
They don't have a first-round pick.
I don't know when the Pistons
They're
are
a
ever going
mess.
to be good again.
And you're right. The scouting combine is a week. And
Yeah.
I've been hearing rumors, according to our boy Mike Valenti, that they're gonna keep half of that staff intact, which is horrible.
Look, guys, I worked at the Palace. Tom Gores brought in a lot of LA people to do these things. That's not how
No.
it works around here.
You gotta
Until
bring basketball people.
Is not
More
with the
Detroit
team,
people.
and until he understands the people of Detroit, ain't gonna happen. I have no hope for the Pistons.
I don't have it either.
A lot less than I did the day Stan was hired too. I felt hopeful that day.
The
Thought
keyword
Stan
hope.
knew basketball. I was happy. Tom was getting a basketball guy to do things, but Tom was
Wrong.
terrible.
He's terrible.
And did Stan intervene? That's one more point I'll bring up. Andre Drummond still being on this team makes me want to hurl.
No, he did not. This was all Gores.
But tell me, though, did Stan try to trade Andre and Tom interrupted?
Yes.
Like I'm interrupting Anthony trying to go to break here.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right,
he
we're
did.
going to break. Go to break. Bye.
Which is the worst kind
Go
of
to
owner.
break.
Local runners and walkers are invited to take part in Orion Township's annual Dragon Dash, scheduled to take place on Sunday, May 20th. The 5K course begins at the Orion Center, with participants traveling along the Pollyant Trail to Civic Center Park before turning around and coming back to the finish line at the Orion Center. Awards will be presented to the top overall male and female participants, as well as runners in a variety of age divisions. Registration opens at 7:30 a.m. with the race starting at 9 a.m. sharp. Take part in this long-time Orion tradition and register by visiting orionparks.com. For more information, call 248-391-0304, extension 3500.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV with Ian Witherspoon constantly interrupting. How are we doing?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. I know.
All right, let's
Hey,
talk.
listen, Ann, I want to run something by you real quick. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness gracious. Ian Witherspoon constantly interrupting.
We got Lions!
This is the defining moment.
It's the defining moment.
This-
The Lions season!
We are midway through the show. This is the defining moment.
The Lions.
And it's going to introduce the topic of the Lions.
Hey, the Lions. All right, the
The
Lions.
most hopeful team in this town, by the way.
They are!
I can't believe we're saying this.
They are the most hopeful team.
I can't believe we're saying this.
I can feel hell freezing over below us.
I don't. I feel optimism. Unless you're
Wow.
Chris Bell. But
Talk about what happened last weekend, Since we've been last on
the
the air.
Lions draft.
The Lions draft took place.
Ant, what are your opinions on it?
What are my
First round
opinions
pick,
on it?
Frank Ragnow. What's your opinion on him?
I'm
Like-
very curious
like
to see
20th overall, center from Arkansas.
Like the pick.
how. Skeptical about the pick.
Like
Skeptical?
The pick. Like
Skeptical.
the pick. They need a center. They need a big center.
They do.
know,
Why are
they-
you skeptical though?
Don't you have a center?
No.
Graham Glasgow,
Glasgow?
who was guard center.
Yeah. Guard
mean-
center, yeah. I think he's going to convert him to guard now.
But I think they had an opportunity to take a guy, and they had to know. Bengals wanted a draft line. Patriots wanted a draft line. They had to know the best one in our mind is going off the board now. If we don't take him, we're not getting him.
You know what I like? The only thing, what I like with the Lions, they went up in the third round of the draft. I think they took a guy from Alabama.
Deshaun Hand, fourth round.
I like the fourth round. That's a good pick. I like that pick.
You like that pick?
Yeah, the only one I did not understand was why didn't this team get a defensive lineman?
They did. Deshaun Hand.
No, he's a defensive end. He's not a lineman.
He's going to play on the line.
Yeah, but they should have gotten a interior defensive lineman.
I think
Instead of a, I believe a fullback in the 7th round, you should have took a D lineman.
why?
Because they need interior help, you know?
They
Do you
do,
trust
but-
Kerry Hyder in the interior right now, especially he's coming off a season-ending injury that he had last year? Do you trust him?
No, but
No.
would you trust a 7th round pick? 7th round picks rarely make the roster.
Heck no, I don't even trust the 7th-round pick to make the roster.
Look, the Bob Quinn said it. There's a couple plays in every game that define the game, right? Mm-hmm. You think back to the Lions' losses. Mm-hmm. What were the defining plays in the Steelers game? When they couldn't pound the ball.
They threw a 98-yard touchdown,
They
man.
could not run the ball.
Couldn't run the ball. Kerryon Johnson pick made me happy.
You have Matthew Stafford, and you got to get this guy a running game. You got to get him help.
Well, yeah, Kerryon Johnson. I like the Kerryon Johnson pick of Auburn. I really do.
I like the fact that they focused on their weakest unit.
Mm-hmm.
Some would say the D-line perhaps is the weakest unit, but offensive line overall was god-awful last year. And a lot of it was injuries.
Injuries.
The right side of their line's
They
getting
got
old.
depth. They got depth.
Now they have depth. They did not have depth before.
Makes me happy they got depth. I just wish the only thing they messed up on was interior defensive lineman.
But, Sam, there's still free agency to go. Jonathan Hankins is still sitting out there. He's from Detroit. They just cleared cap space. Do you not think this man's going to come here?
Yeah, I think Hankins could come in.
Either he's going to come here, Branch is going to come here, Jean Francois, whatever, is going to come here. They're going to get some more help.
They need help at that line.
They got a good secondary. They got some new linebackers. And, oh, by the way, they have a rocket scientist running their defense now. Okay? All right?
Okay,
let him handle that.
You're in a division with Minnesota, who's got a quarterback can throw it. Green Bay's got a quarterback can run it. And Chicago's improved.
Hey, you can get the frying pan going and call this one a hot take because I don't think Minnesota's going to be a 13-win football team like they were last year.
That ain't going to. No, Minnesota will be around 10, 11, 12 wins. Minnesota, Green Bay,
I don't respect.
Green Bay, yeah, because you don't like Aaron Rodgers. And then
I respect him as a.
You don't like Aaron Rodgers, but you know what team you know what team I'm really high on? It's Chicago. Chicago Bears, monster of the Midway. You need to put a C on your face and basically fall on the Bears bandwagon.
Every time you see Bears, all I hear is a toilet flushing. I don't know. It must just be in my head.
Yeah.
The Bears are going to be all right.
It's just like when anytime Sammy says something about your love for Cleveland.
Yes. I also hear flushings of toilets.
You love Cleveland.
Look, the Bears are going to be good. The division's going to be good. The division's going to be good, but you have to trust that you're going to be better, that this team got better as well.
Can you trust the fact the Lions got better? That's the question.
Do I think personally the Lions got better?
I will be honest. What I'll say to Chris Bell right now, because he's the biggest Lion junkie I know.
What?
And this is what I'm going to say to him. Minnesota is better than the Lions.
They might be.
Because I'm going to say this right now. They got a quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and they have a defense that's
insane. Very good. So I'm telling you right now.
But guess who has Minnesota's flipping number usually past couple of years?
Not the Lions.
How many games have the Lions lost in the new Minnesota Stadium?
None.
0. All right? So, chill out. Yeah, defense is good.
Minnesota went in the Ford Field and killed the Lions because Minnesota had a quarterback named I believe it was Keenum. Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Case Keenum.
I get it.
Your boy,
Case
Keenum.
I get it.
Joe Johnson's boy is Case Keenum as well.
I get it.
In other news, what is your take about Dez Bryant getting released from the Cowboys?
Bring the Lions.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
God, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, hold up. Before. Okay, for the record, I'm better than both of you guys. But anyways, let's talk about the. Okay, so why are you saying yes and why are you saying no? Okay, no, explain first.
Give me your phone. Let me call Jeffrey Heath up. I want to say, hey, how's Dez in the locker room? Is Dez a normal guy? Is Dez a team player? I don't know. I don't trust that.
Jeff respects Dez.
All right, let me talk to Jeff, not on the phone,
Jeff
man.
loves Dez.
Jeff Heath loves Dez.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you right now, Dez would be a perfect teammate in the locker room. You think about it, it's going to take pressure off Golden Tate. It's going to take pressure off Marvin Jones. You think about this. You know, this is going to make Kenny Galloway expendable.
No, you know who's expendable? The guy that just got frickin' cut, Dez Bryant. He's expendable.
He's not
Kenny Galladay is your sophomore receiver.
He is not that good.
But Dez did say that he wants to go to a team in the NFC East, particularly Philadelphia or New York.
Look, Dez, man, is getting older. Obviously, he could come here. If he did come here, I could see him being like Anquan Bolden. Third down, red zone kind of guy. But I just don't think that mixes. That personality mixes. To me, he's a bright lights, big city kind of guy. This ain't the squad for him. He's a Dallas. He's a New York
or Washington.
He's an LA Ram. He's a Philly. Right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I don't see it. I especially bringing in Matt Patricia, who seems to right away kind of understand the hard work mentality, the grind out mentality. I don't see that from Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant wants to go play at Lambeau on January or December 31st or whatever. I don't see it.
You never know.
Give me some young, hungry guys.
You never know.
Well,
that are
final
coachable.
Thoughts? Any final thoughts on the Lions and the Des Bryant?
I like their draft. You know what I mean? I think they're going to be okay, but I still think Minnesota class the North.
I would agree they're the class of the North because they own the North.
Yes, I know.
But
Ooh.
I will continue to be high on the Lions
No.
until they give me a reason,
No.
the past 60 years
No.
notwithstanding,
No.
not to be.
We'll be right
This
back.
is-
And I'll tell you one more thing.
It is the
Orion's got a break.
What's that?
Got a
Tom?
break.
I think Tom was saying something.
Okay.
Runners and walkers of all ages are invited to put on your red, white, and blue and take part in the second annual Orion Veterans Memorial Day 5K. The race will start at noon on Broadway Street, just south of Flint Street, and will come to an end on Odana Street near the Orion Veterans Memorial. Prior to the race, you can enjoy the Memorial Day Parade as it travels through the heart of the downtown area. And following the race, you're invited to stay for the Memorial Day ceremony at the Orion Veterans Memorial. To register or for more information, visit oriontownship.org.
Welcome back to this uninterrupted version of Between Taorminas.
Tom Gorse, eat your heart out!
Okay, so let's get.
17!
Any thoughts on the Tigers situation?
They're done! Cleveland's the team! Cleveland rules! Cleveland rocks, baby!
How's that bullpen looking?
Check, no comment.
How many wins they got? Like 15? Ooh. I think they won today. 18 wins.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm really scared. Where are the Red
Cleveland!
Sox at? Where are the Yankees at? Where's Houston at? Where's the Angels at? Seattle.
Tells you the Central Division's weak.
Central is
Central Division's weak, boys.
laughable. It's very bad. This is worse than it was when the Tigers won 4 straight.
Yes.
This is worse.
Interesting. And uninterrupted, too.
Eat your heart, Tom Gorse! Start a team!
So, any final thoughts on the. So, you think Tigers are done?
Yeah.
Ian?
Were the Tigers ever not done this year? I mean, they're not expected to do anything.
They're done.
I like seeing the young guys, and I like the culture
They're done.
Ron Gardenhire's
done.
building. Because even though they're losing, he's
done.
not going to let them
He ain't gonna let them
turn
quit,
that into a
but they're done.
culture.
They're done.
this
Okay?
is
He-
Tom Gorse, eat your heart!
most important decision we have made.
Hey, the most important decision you made is you're a loser! You are a loser!
Wow.
Give me a 17 now! That's the most important decision you ever made! Go get yourself a new house and get out of Michigan!
Wow. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, Gorse, get out of Michigan now! Okay.
Well, that will do it for this episode of Between Taorminas. Hopefully we have no more interruptions like that.
I'm going to lose sleep from the ringing in my ears.
I know you will. All right, have a great night. See you soon, and take care.
What'd
Have a
you
good
say?
night. What?
What?